Real Talk with Chris Rubaie and my main man, Julian. Say what's up.
Hey man, how you guys doing?
It's been a while. You know, me and Julian, we had a couple of big events. It was Julian's birthday this past week.
Yes, sir.
How was that, man?
It was cool, man. We were down in Miami Beach.
Nice.
Best place in the world. It's crazy. It's crazy to say that I could go there whenever I want. Everyone's got to hop in an airplane and go down there. I just drive 20 minutes and get there.
And of course, it's currently spring break right now.
Oh yeah.
It's Monday, and for those that are watching and are not familiar too much with the demographic of spring break, the first Monday of spring break is usually for college kids to head out to the beach, you know, have a little fun, a little bit of...
Get a little sunburn going on.
Sunburn, a little
drinking.
intoxication.
Oh yeah.
But we're here, we're working, we've had a bunch of stuff going on with work, so the spring break has just been...
it should be good.
It's been important for us, but...
We had a few scheduling conflicts, but we're back at it right now.
We want to hit this full force.
Chris is ready for spring break. Check out
this
his jumpsuit
if
going
you're not,
on.
I'm sorry, if you're not watching this right now, if you're not watching this, you need to go check out our YouTube.
Yeah, show everyone your hat, man.
This will be posted. All right, check out the hat. All right, that's new. That's merch.
You got that nice.
The Chavez International Real Estate Company hat. We got the matching jumpsuit to go
Nike
with it.
And Adidas going on. I don't know what's going on with
checks
that.
over stripes or stripes over checks.
I like Nike, man.
I like the check. Yes, sir. All right. Man, so much good stuff. We've been compiling information for these past
couple of weeks going on here.
I like it.
Some crazy stuff going on.
But we got some cool stuff to talk about for real. Let's start it off, man. Let's talk about cryptocurrency.
Is that a real thing again? Like, what's going on with that?
It's coming back.
Tell everyone what's going on with that right now down here in Miami.
We talk a lot about WeWork, which is a co-working space. These people basically design, build office buildings, office use, and basically make it a lot more short term than what a usual lease might be for an office. Allows other companies to network with others inside the building.
It's a really cool thing. It's like kind of open. They have an office.
Exactly.
I mean, they have big office space, so you can just sit down at any table and just start working. They got a nice kitchen in there.
And it's actually very cost effective if you look at the overall, net on what you would typically spend for an office building and, chairs or designing it or whatever might have you. But these guys take care of everything for you. They take care of your you got coffee, Wi-Fi, printing, right?
Yeah, they have printing. They have like a conference room you can rent out. I mean, the only time I don't think it makes sense is if you're renting out one of those big offices in there. For that, you can rent a cheaper office somewhere else.
Yeah, it depends on what you're working with.
It depends what you're trying to do. But if you're going to be short term and you're just going to use like the whole co-working thing, talk to a lot of people, network, get business for yourself, I think it makes sense. It's pretty cool thing to do.
I think so too.
So what happened there?
So one of the buildings in Miami, one of the WeWork buildings, is expected to sell for a little bit over $65.5 million. This is going to be one of the largest known cryptocurrency real estate auctions. Okay, it's only going to have the top 50 cryptocurrencies. All right, just to clarify, Bitcoin is included. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about another one that Julian mentioned. Ripple, is that what it's called?
Ripple was in there.
XRP and Ethereum.
Ethereum, yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, I've heard of it. It's like the second biggest one, but I didn't trade that.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like it.
How much was that sale going for? Do you know?
A little bit over 65.5. There was a company that put a deposit down back in January with Bitcoin. So it's interesting.
Undisclosed amount of Bitcoin.
What do you think this means for cryptocurrency? Is real estate over or with the crypto, or you think it's going to continue?
Well, on the MLS, it still has an option to put terms considered crypto.
Right.
I think it's still an option, but the thing is that title companies have to switch it back to cash anyways.
Right.
It's US dollars.
It's at the current rate of whatever.
Whatever the current rate is at closing, they convert it to cash.
So I remember looking at this a couple of years ago and this is not completely factual, but I remember there was one condo that was, it was around $300K, and it was the first cryptocurrency transaction in South Florida. And, at that point at this point, crypto was going crazy.
Crypto was booming at the time.
Everyone was like, yeah, I'm rich.
Cashing out on their private jets.
No, they weren't even cashing out. Well, they might have been cashing out.
Some of them cashed out.
But, a couple months later, it was back down in the dirt. So it's interesting. I thought that, crypto was going to be a part of all real estate transactions.
Going forward.
And it is. I mean, it is a part of some real estate transactions, but I don't think it will be a part of all of them.
The thing is that when you purchase something with cryptocurrency, you have to bet on the building versus the crypto. Because if the crypto goes down, then you're valuing the building less.
Right.
That's good for the buyer, I guess.
Right.
But for the seller, it's not.
It sucks.
You thought it was going to be a certain amount, but that crypto just tanked. So
Right.
you're bidding on two markets, basically.
People are buying all types of assets. You can buy cars with crypto. People were buying Starbucks at one point.
So what do you think is better? Do you think it would benefit more the seller or the buyer to do a transaction with?
Well, with what we see, what I've seen through the graph, I think it'll benefit the buyer.
I think so.
But I mean, for the seller, it's just really more troublesome. It's like, hey, how do I get rid of this, currency at the rate that I wanted to? I mean, yeah, sure, it could appreciate a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be any federal backing to this currency anytime soon. So it's interesting. I think we'll be able to see where this goes for the future and in assets and just in general,
Right. It's pretty crazy though, because what if that cryptocurrency tanks that same day? This buyer's getting a steal in the building. So I think you're right, especially with the buyers having a little bit more power to what the closing date is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, so it says right here in the article, if less than the purchase price is raised at auction, meaning that the cryptocurrency is valued less than what it would be to be converted in cash, then they will offer financing for the buyer.
Okay. So it's kind of a win-win always for the buyer then.
I would think so. But, obviously getting financing is going to be a little bit tough for that, I think. Just like last minute. Something like worked up, but it's a 90,000 square foot building. I mean, it's no joke.
Where do they buy at?
It's somewhere in downtown.
So WeWork bought a building in downtown? Or WeWork sold a building?
It's leased to WeWork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's interesting.
Oh, that's right. WeWork doesn't own their properties. They
right.
lease them.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's almost kind of like an Airbnb for offices. Now, it's not exactly the same business concept, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about what's going on with Airbnb now?
We can.
Or do you want to?
Yeah.
You want to hold that out?
You got that
a little bit?
Up?
I got it up right now, man.
Perfect.
So right now, Airbnb just bought their biggest purchase of all time, $400 million on an app called Hotel Tonight. I'm not sure if anyone's heard about that app before, but basically
super cool. You've used it.
I've used it
right?
all the time. So you book hotels. At first, it was to book hotels like same day, this weekend, like
right, like SeatGeek, but for like hotels.
Right. So you book it right there, and they have discounted prices because you're booking it the same day.
Yeah.
Now they made it a little bit better. You can book like a month in advance, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
So they're pretty big in the hotel market. They're the easiest app to use. Definitely way better than like Hotels.com and Expedia.
Yeah. How big is the company? How much do they just sell for?
$400 million.
Whew.
Airbnb just bought it for $400 million. Their biggest acquisition of all time.
Wow. No, yeah, I think Airbnb is playing it right, man. You gotta bet on these technology companies. Like you said, it's the biggest acquisition. It just shows that they're really trying to emphasize the importance of this company. Airbnb is over a $30 billion company. I think it could be the wave.
What do you think Airbnb is trying to do buying a hotel company? Because Airbnb, they always try to separate themselves from hotels. I mean, I thought. Because before Airbnb, for anyone who doesn't know, they were renting out like condos.
Right.
Everything that wasn't a hotel they were doing.
This is my prediction. And I think this is kind of weird, but I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
I think Airbnb is the Amazon of real estate. It could be. It could be. Now, it's just short term right now. Right? But it has the possibility to expand long term. You know what I'm saying? Rentals, sales, something like that. But, right now that's not what they want to do. They want to focus on the rental aspect and short term, right? So better cap rate for you, short term. Higher rates per day is more lucrative. But it's also very volatile with the market. You know, hotels are one of the most sensitive to economic conditions. So
They are. Because, I mean, if the economy's not making money, the first thing you cut out is
I don't want to buy a
leisure.
hotel. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, like, why would I stay in a hotel when I'm doing poorly in money? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I guess I think they're predicting that the economy's going to get better by just spending $400 million. It wasn't a small purchase. They just spent $400 million.
Yeah. No chump change, that's for sure. But I do like how they're betting on the future of technology. You know,
Definitely.
It's interesting. We all talk about these industries moving into more tech, but
Hotel Tonight was the easiest app I've ever used ever to book a hotel. I mean, easier than calling someone up on the phone or doing it.
That's cool.
You literally swipe like this.
I've never used it. I want to use it.
Yeah, it's an amazing app, and they got pretty good deals. They send you alerts when like, you click watch list alert. Let's say you want to stay at Miami Beach.
Yeah.
From certain
They found blue.
Yeah.
They got found blue on there?
Yeah, found it, but the thing is, the way it works is they book out a certain amount of rooms. Sometimes they have the found blue, sometimes they don't.
Right.
But if you type in Miami Beach, they'll have like the found blue, they'll have Eden Rock, they'll have a bunch of hotels there. And click watch this search, and then it'll give you an alert, a notification on your phone when prices go down or up.
Wow.
So it's time to book or not. Yeah. So it kind of does like what you think you're doing in your head.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm gonna search for hotels.com right now, but I'll search it again in another hour and see if prices are down. It does it for you.
Right.
It sends you a little alert on your phone, prices have gone down.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good.
I think it was as cool as Airbnb, but for hotels.
Right.
That's why I think they bought them.
Yeah.
It makes sense why they're doing so much advertisement. You see them going down the highway here. That they have that huge sign that says Hotel Tonight. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it.
It's a huge
Where's
sign.
it? 995?
Yeah, it's 995.
Yeah.
It says think less, travel more, or something. Because how easy it is to rent a place on there. I mean,
smart. I want to try it out.
I think you should. It's super cool.
Yeah.
And then you get points and stuff.
I think my friends need to try it out. All my friends coming down here for spring break.
Definitely populated Miami a little more.
Let's talk a little bit more about spring break. You know, we got a big festival coming up in Miami. One of the biggest, I guess you could call, festivals in the United States.
Maybe the world, really.
Maybe the world. I mean, it's a lot of people. We're talking about Ultra Miami. I know I have a lot of friends and family that are coming down to go see this festival. But it turns out the zip code that we're in right now is having a little bit of trouble with the idea of having the Ultra Music Festival at its location that it's supposed to be at. So in previous years, Ultra Music Festival was located in Bayfront Park, which is in downtown Miami. It's surrounded by beautiful buildings like the Intercontinental.
So it's right next to the arena.
Right next to the arena, American Airlines arena that we're talking about. Right next to Loft 2, a bunch of beautiful buildings, excellent skyline right next to the water. But they decided to leave. They changed. I think it was an agreement between both parties to leave Bayfront as a location. And so they moved it to Virginia Key and Virginia Key Park. So that's connected to a causeway called Rickenbacker Causeway, which is connected to an island. So it's interesting how this came as like an idea. You know, hey, let's put a music festival on an island.
That's pretty crazy. I would go for that.
Yeah, you would go for that. But this is for anyone that's ever seen the documentary Fire on Netflix. Have you seen it?
Fire Festival?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk more about that. You think it would be a good idea, but right. So right now, the Brickell Association, representing 35,000, and I hate to say this, Brickelites. That's literally what they're called, Brickelites. Am I a Brickelite?
You are, because you live.
No, I'm not a Brickelite.
No, that's a weird word. I mean, I used to like a Brickletarian.
I am for Ultra.
A Miamian.
By the way, I am a Florida resident. I just became a Florida resident last week. You know, I'm a 305 resident. 305 until I die. I'm super pumped.
Finally, man.
Exactly. So the 35,000 Brickelites are suing the city of Miami over alleged illegal leases to Ultra Music Festival. The reason why we wanted to include this today is because David Beckham, who's a very prominent soccer star.
He's like a social figure almost here.
He just purchased a soccer team in Miami. He's bringing a soccer team to Miami. But the real reason why the person that's heading this lawsuit, and I don't believe it's a class action lawsuit, I just think it's a bunch of separate lawsuits, is that the attorney David Winker, he's the guy that handles all of David Beckham's properties for Mel Ree's properties. He is representing the Brickell Association in this lawsuit. So basically what they're trying to do is get rid of Ultra this year.
What do you think? Pros and cons. Cons of having Ultra. I want to know about.
All right, so Brickell got approved, I want to say 2 months ago, right? Well, it might even be, it's March now.
Brickell approved it.
Virginia Key approved it.
Okay.
So I think this would have made sense right after they got approved, but we're less than a month out now. They're already like setting up. It's kind of hard to stop.
We're a couple weeks away. We got millions.
2
of people.
weeks.
We got people flying in from all over the world to see this.
Right. Yeah.
They can't cut it off now.
I don't think they can.
I mean,
yeah.
But give me some more cons. Why do you think it wouldn't be good to have it?
So
I can't even.
The island that it's on is very historic. All right. It's an older island. There's a lot of, it's basically all residential over there.
That's right.
It's, one way in, one way out. It's a little bit different. There's a lot more space to the lease that they're using compared to Bayfront. But I think in terms of
there's a lot more space there?
There's a lot more space at Virginia Key. So I believe Ultra has also extended the times. It'll now be from the earliest you can get in there, probably like 3 or like 5 p.m. sometime in the afternoon, and then it'll go till 2 a.m., which is totally new because at Bayfront they were only allowed to go to 12 a.m. because it's surrounded by all those residential buildings. And honestly, they were way done. I went to it last year, I'm not gonna lie, huge Ultra fan, but I think it's done a little bit before 12. But the reason why they really wanted to leave Bayfront is because the sound, the music levels, it's just crazy.
It's only one weekend.
It's 1 weekend, and it used to be 2. That's the craziest part, is because could you imagine doing that one weekend and then doing another with all
That's
the traffic, tourists, hotels, everything.
Yeah, but think about all the money that the city's generating.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be over $100 million.
Waiters are excited, restaurants are excited, hotels are excited.
Right.
The city itself should be excited because there's
100,000 people.
There's a lot of people in taxes, a lot of money in taxes, sales tax on everything you buy.
All right, 100,000 times $500.
100,000 times $500. That's $5 million.
No.
Okay, hold on. Times 500?
Yeah.
50 million.
50 million.
That's
how much they're making. That's how much they're making in a weekend.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, they still gotta pay artists and set it up, Okay. But that's still a good chunk of change. Whoever's running that.
That's just Ultra for the tickets to get in. I'm talking about the hotels people are renting.
Oh yeah, the revenue to the entire city.
Yeah. And then these hotels gotta pay taxes to the city. There's sales tax and everything. Everyone's gotta eat. They're not gonna bring food from Virginia to come down here.
Exactly.
They gotta eat here.
And those locations originally weren't even in Miami. They weren't. They were at Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh, okay.
They were out in Fort Lauderdale. They're out in. I think they tried the concept of Wynwood, but I don't think that would work.
There's not enough space on
But they really were proposing. The only reason why it wasn't at Hard Rock Stadium is because there's an event there that weekend, a big event.
Not bigger than Ultra.
Right, but it was something comparable, like a little bit something more.
They couldn't have fit 100,000 people in Hard Rock.
No, I don't think so. Not inside Hard Rock. It would have to be around. You know what I'm saying? But that splits your revenue for each city, right? Because people are going to stay in Fort Lauderdale because it's not that far away from there, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper. And you got Miami right next to you, and you're going to split the revenue. This way, they're throwing everyone down near Miami, super close.
No one's going to stay in Fort Lauderdale to drive down to Miami for this.
Well, people that don't
unless they live there, if they don't live here. But
exactly.
Let's say you're flying in from Washington D.C. to come to Miami.
Right.
You're not going to book a hotel in Fort Lauderdale. You're going to book a hotel, maybe at the Epic Hotel, something like that.
Maybe you say that, but dude, there's a big price comparison between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. I know a lot of people that rather fly into Fort Lauderdale. 1B because Southwest has flights out of Fort Lauderdale, and Miami International Airport does not.
Okay.
I don't know why. Southwest, if you're watching this, please get us some flights out of here. This is one of the biggest, airports in the United States.
One of my friends just flew in here from Southwest, and he said Southwest is the biggest mess.
Really?
He said it's like unassigned seating.
Yeah.
Like you get on and you're like, all right, find a seat.
It's like a school bus.
You have to like.
But that's part of it. It's just drastically reduced. You're like, I'm not gonna lie. When you're on Southwest, you're cattle. You're packaged just like cattle. You're like sardines. But that's part of it. It's easy to travel. It's quick. Whatever.
It's good. It's good if you're trying to save money, but I feel like Miami's gonna make way more money doing it in Virginia Key than if they would have done it up there by Hard Rock.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think it's better for Miami. I'm from Miami, so I like Miami to do better.
Yeah, I agree. When I heard that Hard Rock was doing it, I was actually scared because, first off, I don't want to drive an hour up there to go see that. Or,
exactly.
It's not. It's you look at Hard Rock, you can see Hard Rock from like 2 miles away because it's the tallest structure.
It's the only thing there.
Yeah, it's the only thing out there.
Well, they bought it there because the land is so much cheaper. That's why they bought it up in Miami Gardens.
Right. But you look at people like David Beckham right now that are trying to build stadiums around Miami. It's doable, but I mean, like,
it's going to cost you something.
It's going to cost you. Yeah.
It's going to cost you to be in Miami.
Yeah.
It will, but that's why you're here in Miami.
Yeah.
But you'll make more money off of being in Miami.
I will say that Ultra has done some due diligence to provide residents with a little bit more peace of mind, being transportation. They're offering so bus transportation.
Trying to cut out a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, cut out a little bit of traffic. And then also they're doing ferries as well. So you can go by boat to Ultra.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
Are you going to Ultra?
I might. I have a bunch of friends coming in town. So
I might also go to Ultra.
Well,
what are my friends
Ultra. We'll let you know if this lawsuit happens. if it actually goes through anything. But
they ought to get it done quickly. I mean, Ultra's in a couple of weeks. Everyone spent big money to come down here. I don't know if it'll go through. It's huge news. I hope it doesn't go through. I'm sorry, David.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. But we'll figure it out. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, man.
Okay.
We want to talk a little bit about Zillow.
Man.
Don't talk about Zillow when Julian's around. He'll get so mad.
All right, let's talk about Zillow.
All right. Let's talk about how this guy in California, this is a little bit of national news that we got here. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm looking at this. I'm sorry. I think this is Dan Bilzerian's house from what I've seen on Snapchat. But Zillow is currently being sued by a private individual that owns a property in Bel Air, California. The lawsuit is seeking damages of $60 million against home sale marketing company Zillow. And the reason why is because Zillow does provide transactional history, as in, okay, this property sold for this amount.
Comparables.
Right. Comps of of what the properties have sold for, or when and what dates and how much. Well, this guy is suing because the property is estimated to be around $100 to $150 million, and someone has hacked the account. And I'm sorry, not hacked the account. It's not like it's Twitter or something, but it has hacked Zillow and provided false information, false transactional information about the property
to skew
the price. Meaning, they said on Zillow that it sold for 50 or 60, 70 million dollars, when in reality it's worth 100 to 150. So this guy has intentionally sued Zillow for $60 million in damages due to the net effect that has inflicted financial damage on him, because now he can't, or he might not be able to reach that asking price that he wanted to, because he has those comps that led to that. And it's not like it's a historic house; it's a brand new house. I'm looking at it right now, and I really do think it's Dan Bilzerian's house, or is that just how LA works? I'm not sure. It's a beautiful house. They said, what is it, 12 bedrooms, 21 baths.
All right. Well,
let me know. 38,000 square feet. Wow.
Do you think he's going to win the lawsuit?
I think he will.
I think so too.
100%. Because these guys can't be doing this,
They didn't
man.
skew it by $1 million. $1 million is a lot of money still.
Yeah.
They skewed that thing by over $50 million.
Let's scale it down a bit. So, $150 million. That's crazy.
half. I mean,
Right.
that's 50% of the evaluation.
So let's divide that by 100, right? So let's say you got a property that's worth $1 million to $1.5 million, right?
Okay.
And these people were putting in, they somehow hacked Zillow and said that your property sold 2 years, 6 months into while you owned it, and they said that it sold for $600,000, right? How would that make you feel?
That would make your property value go from, let's say, 1.25 to 725,000.
Right.
That's
and not only
$500.
that, but, and I'm going to call out Zillow for this, is because Zillow, it would change this estimate, which is what everyone prides themselves on.
Right.
You know, oh, my house is worth this because of this estimate. When those are in reality 10 to 20% off, plus minus, like under or over. So, and they've done studies.
Well, actually, they're headquartered in Seattle.
Right.
A study was done in Seattle itself.
Yeah.
The average price that homes have appraised at are on average $30,000 off from the Zestimate.
Right.
Whether up or down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In their hometown, Seattle. So they can't even get the prices right in Seattle, where they're located at. That's where their HQ is.
Right.
How are they trying to do this at a national level?
Right.
How could someone in Seattle tell me what my home is worth in Miami? They can't even get Seattle right.
Here's the thing. We were talking about Seattle. Let's talk about the guy that created it. And I might have spoken about this on the podcast.
We touched about it a little bit last time. We didn't know about the new business plan yet. We were roasting it.
Oh my gosh, we're talking about that next. But CEO, this guy, original founder, the guy that created the app, created all the algorithms to all of these estimates, is he listed his property for around $2 million. That's what the estimate said. And he sold it for 1.2, which is drastically off. That's huge value. That's 800 grand. And that's actual data. Like, that is a no.
Those are facts.
And that is the CEO that did that, the guy that originated
They can't even get the CEO's home valuation.
Exactly. They can't even get that right. So it's interesting, you know? So we look at all of it, and what we were just about to talk about was the new feature that they've added on.
Right. All right. So we talked about it a little bit last time. We talked about Zillow getting a new CEO. To give you a little bit of info about this guy, he was the owner, he's the guy that started Expedia. Expedia, everyone knows after Expedia started, they got rid of all the travel agents.
Basically, I mean, travel agents now are really used for large groups or, you know, certain criteria.
They're still around, but at a smaller.
Exactly.
So I think they're trying to get into the real estate game to possibly try to get rid of realtors. I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible. We talked about this in the discussion in class that I was in on Wednesday. We had the CEO of Avanti Way Realty, who's a very big tech guy in the real estate industry, has a brokerage of over 700 agents, and he said personally, and I agree with him, of course, is real estate, you still need that personal touch. You know, it can't be fully automated.
An as-is contract in real estate to purchase any home, the minimum amount of pages is 12 pages.
Yeah.
You out there watching this podcast, you've never studied real estate. Me and Chris studied real estate.
12 pages.
So we know how to interpret those
contracts.
contracts.
It's more like 25 to...
Right, but the minimum it could ever be no matter what.
I just looked at one that was 76 pages. You know, and it's just like... and it's not only that, it's you got to see it in person, you know, you got to figure out the right deals, the right people.
You got to evaluate correctly. Like,
exactly.
My valuations have never, ever been $30,000 off.
Pictures do it justice, but they can't do all of the justice. That's my...
Right. Right here, sitting here before we started this, an appraisal called me and was asking me, he's appraising a place.
Right.
He asked me, so what was the condition of the place? Because that property sold for $165,000, but the comps are showing $200 grand.
Right.
How come you guys sold for $165,000? A computer can't tell you this, but I can when I picked up the phone. I said, the place had water damage. It didn't even have a kitchen.
Right.
It didn't even have the upstairs bathroom. That's why it sold for that. Right. Zillow could never tell you that.
Can't.
And when I got rid, and there was no pictures showing that. So the pictures were non-existent. They had no information to know about that.
Right.
I was the one that told them that place sold for that little because it didn't have a kitchen. If not, that sale would have ruined the valuation for all the rest because it only sold for $165.
Right.
And it was a condominium.
Yeah.
So imagine that here.
Yeah. I mean, it's
a human has to pick up the phone.
You always gotta, well, not only pick up the phone, but go to the actual properties. Right. Just learning information. There's experts in this field. So right now, we're gonna continue talking about the new option that Zillow has created. The Zillow CEO has permitted for all consumers and users to have this new feature.
Instant offers.
Instant offers, man. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So what instant offers is anyone that owns a property. They're restricted in some areas, but wherever they are, the way it works is...
I think they're restricted in a lot of areas.
They are for right now.
I don't think you can do it in like Miami, can you?
I'm not sure. I'm not even interested.
Yeah.
But what it is you get you send in the property address to Zillow, and they're gonna give you back an offer of what they think it's worth, and they'll buy it from you for that offer. For everyone that's watching, these prices are significantly lower than your home valuation.
Right.
Because first of all, they have no idea what your property even looks like.
Yeah.
Their estimates are way off.
Yeah.
And they're going to buy it and try to make a lot of profit on you. They're not going to buy it and try to make $5,000 on you.
Yeah.
They're going to try to buy it and make $50,000 off you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like this tool can be utilized for profit, as in meaning, okay, I can go into a place and buy it for 30% what market value is saying, or what the estimate is saying, or whatever, right? And then you go in, and then they're not gonna ask. They know how much you bought it for. It's not like it's gonna be like, we'll give you $50,000 more or 50% more.
They're not gonna do you any favors.
Right? Yeah.
They're gonna try to make money off of you, and they will if you do it.
But here's where I also think they're gonna be restricted: is they can't buy every house in the United States. They're a technology company at the end of the day. They're not a acquisition buying company for real estate. They're not trying to build opportunity zones or anything crazy like that, So
they're trying to get into a market that they have no idea what to do. I mean,
right.
Zillow's original business plan was getting agents on there. They were paying money to get to market agents, which worked originally for them, but now they're getting all of the agents' money and putting it towards buying these properties. And agents are still paying them thousands and thousands of dollars to market themselves.
Yeah, it's very expensive to market on Zillow compared to other platforms, as in like Instagram, Facebook, GoStar.
All those things.
Yeah.
I mean, just word of mouth is cheaper.
Word of mouth, zero acquisition cost.
Really, and then they're trying to buy these properties, really using the realtors' money themselves, then after trying to cut off the realtors.
Yeah.
Because they have agents that they're working with to buy these places, but they're the Zillow agents.
Right.
They work for Zillow.
Agents.
They only work for Zillow.
Exactly. They get a salary.
Right. They get a salary. They're not like me.
Yeah.
If I don't sell, I don't get paid. Man.
Yeah. And it's interesting how Zillow collects all this data. I think we don't really talk about that much.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I'm a little bit mad at all the associations of realtors. We've been selling data to Zillow for years. This data isn't accurate, by the way, because it's off by hours and it doesn't include public sales that don't happen with realtors. So the associations of realtors sell our data to them. So me and Chris, I think we're thinking about starting our own thing, cutting out the
Let's do it.
MLS. Miami MLS. If you're hearing this, talk to me.
Yeah,
I'm not very happy.
We got some serious issues to talk about.
We're paying them $1,000 a year, and they're just selling our data behind our back.
Yeah.
I mean, I never signed something saying you can sell our data.
It's good, but it's also bad because, right, we think we're giving them the upper hand by allowing more consumers, more exposure for our properties and our listings, but in the end result is confusion of data, and that is, I think it's just basically, it's just a way of exporting that data. You know what I'm saying?
Back in the day, like I would have it as a listing broker. I would put it on there because I want to give my property more exposure. But now it's not even going to me. Like the people that are interested in it, it goes only to the people that are paying money to be on Zillow.
And it's automatic, right?
Yeah.
It's automatic. So, I just did a listing today, and it's already on HomeSnap, which is very similar to Zillow. And they said, "Oh, congrats on your new listing." I didn't manually put that into your app. It's already sold. It's already gone. It's already transacted.
Isn't that crazy? From the
minutes. It was less than an hour. I got a notification from HomeSnap saying, "Congrats on your new listing."
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But it's not accurate because not everything is there.
Right.
We take into account the stuff that's sold off the MLS. We take into account all of it. Like how the property actually looks. Like if you would have renovated a kitchen here and threw $20,000 into it, it would have adjusted the valuation.
Right. And I think that's where Zillow messes up is we should have, I know they buy data, right? But we should be able to manually input that ourselves for exposure for them, right? And that's where I think it's gotten twisted.
I think if all the realtors cut off Zillow, they'll have no more power. But the thing is that so many realtors dump money into there.
Yeah.
To try to market
a lot
themselves.
Of people
I don't do it. I know how to get my own leads different ways.
Right.
I don't have to pay Zillow for that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So what else?
So we're not very happy about Zillow. I mean, let's
talk about
the away from
let's talk about the priciest home sales in Miami.
That's what I'm trying to get to right now.
Hopefully, Julian ends up on this list in a couple of weeks, huh?
I actually may be on this list. I'm very excited. All right,
let's talk about the biggest one. What was the biggest?
So we're talking about condo sales, not just sales.
Okay.
So just condo sales. The priciest condo sales in Miami in February. We're talking about February. The data for March hasn't came out yet. Ranged from $645,000 to $2 million.
Wow.
Okay.
These are condos, by the way.
These are condos in Miami.
This is just an undivided interest in a building. This isn't a actual place that you can do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
When you buy a condo, for everyone that doesn't know, you're actually only buying the air between the walls. You don't even own the walls in the condo.
And the common space.
Yeah, you're buying an interest in the common space, which is good. So then in February, there was only $32 million worth of sales in Miami-Dade County,
which is strong.
Which no, it's significantly down from January.
Oh, okay.
Which had 79 million.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's about half. Wow.
Yeah. So then there was 83 units sold less in February than in January.
Right.
Okay. And then this, for some part, maybe due to extra expenses in February. I don't know, Valentine's Day, the shorter month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. We should, we talk about, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's what it's at, $50 million.
Yeah.
About, give or take $50 million in total sales. 1 month to the next. The average price for a condo in Miami Beach in Miami itself was $323,000. The most expensive sold in February was only for $2 million, but it was in the Marquise residences, so it was nice. But we're looking for a nice. I think it's going to be a lot better in March. I mean, me myself, I would have made this list in February.
Yeah.
At $900,000 in Beach, nice unit.
Yeah.
I think it's really going to pick up in February. I mean, in March. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll be looking back again towards the $80 million, maybe $100 million mark.
Hopefully, we'll see you go back up. Let's talk about the market.
So,
the market. This is for. We're going to begin our questions now. Good friend of mine, Daniel Gabardi, reached out to me. He said, "What's our predictions for 2019, Julian? We want to talk about this." So we saw a dip January to February. Condos, right? And these are luxurious, right? This isn't the 300 to 500 range. This is million plus or 750 plus. But what do you think for 2019 predictions?
2019 in general, not just condo sales. I'm talking about Miami. I'm talking about Florida.
Single family, condos,
commercial, everything.
Commercial, businesses.
Okay. All right. Just a quick shout out to Chris. He got a listing for a business.
Yeah. Check it out. It's a restaurant down in Brickell, operating a positive cash flow. I think it's a great opportunity. If you want any more details, reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you guys.
Small detail you left out. If you invest in that place, you'll get your money back in a year and a half.
Money back in 1 year. Uber Eats pays for the rent. So that's where you want to be. I think that's where restaurants are going to be technologically. I think it is better to order food in your living room than it is in their dining room. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to want to prefer eating at their home rather than dining in. And of course, we talk about the personal touch.
Right. I agree with you somewhat, but I still like going with my girlfriend or something. I like going into. That's why I think it's important that they have that nice location in Brickell,
right.
10th and Brickell. So
yeah. And
it's nice to be there.
A little bit over 1,000 square feet, great opportunity. Making money back in a year.
Right. Okay. So going back to Gabardi's question, my prediction for 2019, I actually think the market's gonna get hotter.
I think it will get hotter too.
I mean, reason being that there is a recent article that came out saying Florida's population is going up by 900 people per day. So how could prices go lower?
Just what I want to hear. 900 people on the expressway. 900 more people a day.
Sometimes I feel like they're all on Palmetto Expressway.
A good portion of those 900 people are on the expressway.
Every day going up. So everyone that's saying, "Oh, I'm going to wait till prices go down," sorry, sir, they're not going to go down.
I don't think they will go down. I think right now interest rates are still historically low. I've been talking to a few buyers and clients and everything of that nature, and it's still favorable. So I think
getting a loan at 4.5%, that's very cheap money.
Guys, that's super cheap.
Compared to
what were we talking about over? Where was it at?
Where?
In Europe.
Yeah. Well, France. Yeah.
France. What is the interest
They're
rate?
at
2%. Wow. But I mean, that's totally different.
That's France. That's
yeah. Probably not, 30 properties for sale around here.
No, the thing about France is that they're not constantly buying and selling properties.
Right.
If you buy a property, you're most likely to die in that property.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, just to let you guys know. But yeah, I think definitely the prices are going to continue to steadily increase. It's not going to be a boom like we had in the last few years.
Yeah, it's like we talked about that last time. I don't think we're ever going to see that. Again, unless something really slips out. Like the underwriting standards, or we talk about, the CDOs.
Yeah, you still have, the underwriting standards are still high.
Yeah.
You still have to be qualified to buy. So I think the prices will steadily go up at a nice rate. I think it's healthy for the economy.
For this year.
Yeah, for 2019, I think prices will continue to increase, considering condos, residential, everything commercial, because so many people are moving over here.
Right.
I think prices will continue to increase. We have a nice inventory level, so I think that'll sell nicely.
There's lots of supply. I've seen a lot of properties go back on the market, or they'll be temporary off and then come back on now in March. It's getting really hot because summer's coming around the corner, man.
Right. Everyone has always thought historically that January was the hottest months over here, but I don't think so anymore.
I think it's peak season over there on the Gulf side.
Right. I don't think in Miami it is anymore. I think it's getting closer to summer, like March, April. I think for me, myself, it's going to be my hottest months, like March and April and stuff. I had a really good January and February, but I think getting closer to the summer, it's actually picking up more.
Yeah, I agree.
Regarding everything real estate, not just condos, not just rentals, everything real estate.
Right. And I'm not going to lie, if we look at the historical data over the past 100 to 125 years, real estate is cyclical, and that's part of the reason why it's lucrative and why, people like us want to be in it. Right now, we're right around that 10-year mark where there should be a price correction, but really, in terms of actual data and list price to sale price,
it's not really fluctuating that much.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason being is, it's supposed to be every 10 years. The thing is that in the last 10 years, we had a huge correction in 2008. So I feel like we're going to get by maybe 5 more years. Right. Maybe it'll be this time 15 years.
I think like 2 or 3 years. Something's got to slip out. You know what I'm saying? When I say slip out, it's like a Jenga board. You know what I'm saying? And the movie The Big Short, they showed how the bonds work with the Jenga game, and it just takes one thing to just slip out. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what is it going to be this time?
Exactly. That's what we're waiting for.
But the thing is, mortgages, you have to be qualified to get a mortgage. Unless the buyer is doing fraud, the mortgage people can't do it. Right. So unless the buyer themselves are doing fraud to buy the home, I don't know what's going to slip out. And I know they're not.
Yeah. I agree.
Because the reason why it all got so messed up back then is because people couldn't afford to pay their mortgages.
Yeah.
People without jobs are getting $1 million loans.
Yeah. The interest-only loans were a big portion.
Oh, yeah. That was nice.
Refinancing was tough and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done a bunch of research on it, but that's all we want to talk about for our predictions.
So, you have any other questions you want to
I do have some more questions. Let's talk about building wealth in real estate. This is from my man, Mario Lacayo, good friend of mine. Check him out on Instagram, moneymovesmario_. Really good guy, knows a lot about the market. He is from Nicaragua. That's where he's from.
Nice.
Yeah, I know that. And he's a good guy. So let's talk about building wealth. And really we want to talk about, not really, I see this equation a lot, is profit equals income plus price appreciation. We really don't want to talk about the price appreciation too much in terms of building wealth, or for me, you can do whatever approach you want to do. But for me, building wealth is income, right? So we talk a lot about cap rates and buying properties that perform well on a pro forma statement. I think it's important to earn income, and then also earn income in investing in real estate through monthly rent.
You mean earn income like as your job, and then earn income
combining both,
real estate, okay.
Right? Because that's how you expand into more markets. So I think it's important to start buying real estate now, right? Earning that passive income.
The price is only going to increase.
Right. So, price appreciation does come into effect on how people build wealth. Correct. But you can't just when we talk about price appreciation, we're talking about people flipping homes, basically. So you have the income side, which is basically becoming a landlord, right? Building wealth, owning properties, buying properties right, seeing value, and using that income that you earn from real estate and also any other job that you have or jobs, and investing in more real estate and eventually building your portfolio into something that's relative to what wealthy people own.
Right.
So,
yeah. Like the most millionaires in the United States have been because of real estate.
Yeah, and most of it's like you said, attributed to real estate. But building wealth, flipping houses is very cool. I think the concept is very lucrative. But that strategy doesn't work out for everyone, and the more realistic approach would be collecting income as a landlord,
residual income, and
using positive leverage and financing. But also, we talk about wealth. When we talk about wealth, it's not like you need to focus on your cash too. It can't be just borrowing from the bank. That's not how you increase your wealth. So. Right. You also can't overextend yourself, but you also need to create positive leverage to where your property is maximizing its cap rate and providing a great source of relative income for you. So that's where I stand on that and building wealth. I got one more question from my buddy all the way from Arizona. Shout out to Drew Schweitz, a good friend of mine from high school. He's asking me how to get started in real estate as a side investment outside of a regular job. Well, I think it's super important to have an outside job creating extra income, but what you're really asking for is passive income. How do you start with that? So with that, I would say, buy a property for yourself. I would say buy a property for yourself, right? And become a landlord and rent that out to other people that live with you, right? We're talking about like super small scale right now. This would probably be the easiest way for you to create income, right? So you have people that are paying for your mortgage, right? You're getting that paid for. And then also using that income that you use from there, all that profit, and then buying more properties. So whether you buy it for yourself and use it like that, or strictly renting or staying in another house where you're paying rent with other people and investing the income that you have from another job into more real estate assets to create that income effect, not really the price appreciation effect, and growing your wealth, and to eventually investing in more properties,
right? Because
that add value to you.
Because every month you're getting in whatever $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month.
Right.
It adds up, and that money itself you could actually buy real estate with, apart from your other real income. Right. Not real income, but wherever you work, wherever your 9 to 5 is, whatever that is.
Yeah, I think it's also important to talk about the tax advantages that are involved with real estate. We talk about taxable income and capital gains, as well as other tax advantages like opportunity zones and all that sorts, which we've covered before. But I think it's really important to look at those. Now, I will say you shouldn't be looking at real estate just for the tax advantages. I was listening to a very smart CEO, who's an FIU alumni. His name is Glenn Raffrano. He manages a REIT called VEREIT, VEREIT, on the New York Stock Exchange. They control about $4 billion in real estate assets, focusing on single tenant properties and things of that nature. So he says some of his worst deals have been just from focusing on the tax advantages of real estate. You have to focus on the value and the actual property itself appreciating and creating you a good cap rate, good income, good cash flow that can benefit you in the future. We're not talking about short-term holds here. We're not talking about 6 months.
We're talking about long-term investments here.
We're talking about 3 to 5 years or 5 to 10 years. That's how you really build wealth. And it's not going to be, like they say, success just doesn't happen overnight. So I think it's important to capture all of those aspects and capitalize on them.
Okay, yeah, definitely. That's what I think. That's what I would do. Figure out a way to get some residual income in. Take a portion out of your money every month, save it until you have enough to buy a nice down payment, 20-25%. Then you collect money every month from it. It appreciates over the years and whatnot.
Right.
And that's about it. I mean, we have a live going on right now.
We are live. They were capturing a little bit of the podcast there.
We were recording some of our podcasts. It's going on YouTube right now too.
We already had a couple of questions, but if you guys have any more questions, we'd be happy to answer.
Definitely.
We have about 8 minutes left on the Anchor recording. By the way, thank you to Anchor. This is not paid advertising. Anchor helps us do all this stuff. It makes it so easy for us. It's important to take advantage of all the technology in your life, guys. I mean, it's crazy how technology is moving, and we talked a little about the restaurant business and how I see Postmates, Grubhub, Uber Eats, all of these businesses taking advantage of the sit-down restaurant industry. It used to be drive-through, now it's
Right. You got
takeout.
You got to adapt to the market circumstances. So everyone now watching our live, let us know if you have any questions. Me and Chris are happy to answer. We got a few minutes left on this podcast, this YouTube video that we're doing all at the same time.
Yes.
We got about 5 minutes left. Manny, you have any questions?
And by the way, we think that we really want to have people on here that talk about their real experiences in real estate or business.
Let us know if you ever want to get on.
Let us know. We have an email. Hold on. I'm going to look up the email.
Or you could just DM us.
Yeah, DM us on Instagram.
Someone's asking us, when is this YouTube video coming out?
This YouTube video will be out by Wednesday.
Yeah, Manny, go check it out on Wednesday.
Yes.
Definitely be out there for you.
It'll be on Anchor this afternoon, but if you want a visual, if you want to see the rest of my sweet tracksuit, definitely check us out.
Yeah, man, check out his hat too. we covered some nice topics today. We talked about the new Zillow trying to buy properties without realtors. We talked about WeWork.
Lots of good
cryptocurrency coming back into real estate.
Yeah, we had to take a little bit of time off. We had a bunch of stuff going on with our lives, so we're glad we had some good information this week that hopefully you guys enjoy.
Definitely.
And let's see if we got any more questions.
Let us know. All right, so Mandy asked some questions. See who else is in here. All right, Tiffany, that's about it. All right, so you want to wrap this up? Trying to get to lunch now?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
We appreciate you guys listening in to the Real Talk podcast.
We'll be at Hello Guys later.
We will be at Hello Guys. Catch us there. That is the spot that we like to head to.
Definitely.
And we hope you guys learn as much information from this podcast as we do. And keep watching episode 5. This is episode 4.
This is
episode 4. Episode
We're out
5.
Here. We're real. We're not giving up. Appreciate you.
Thank you guys for listening to the Real Talk podcast. My name is Chris Rubaie.
Julian Chavez.
Have a good one.